Today I want to talk about real estate investing marketplaces. That's a lot of words, but really these are simple online platforms that, just like your stock brokerage account that allows you to buy stocks, here you can invest through these platforms into real estate. Now, the cool thing is you can do this with as little as $10. And there's 3 reasons why you want to focus on this. Number 1, this used to be reserved just for the super rich, the connected institutional investors on Wall Street, large private equity funds, big family offices. Now this is available to investors like you and I. Number 2, maybe you don't have the 20 or 30% down payment to buy an investment property and generate that investment income. Here you can start with as little as $10. And number 3, even if you already own an investment property or 2 somewhere and you think you're diversified, really, your risk is focused on that one market against that one property and that one tenant in the property. Here, with these platforms, you can invest across the country in very different types of projects and truly diversify yourself. So today I want to give you 3 platforms that allow you to do just that. Let's take a look. Three platforms I want to talk about today. I'll show you the websites, talk about the main features. I'm going to leave all the links below the video so you can take a look, do your own due diligence, explore the websites and make your own decisions here. The first company I want to talk about is Fundrise. Now, Fundrise is a company that was founded in 2010. They're based in Washington, D.C. At this point, they have about 200,000 individual investors on the platform. They manage over $2 billion worth of projects in real estate. So this is a company that's been doing this for a while. They are truly a large player in this space now, competing on projects with heavyweights like BlackRock. Their CEO, Ben Miller, really very realistic type of a CEO that always is on the lookout for trouble on the horizon. This is not somebody that's spinning you the bull scenario all the time at all costs just to attract money, clients, and new projects. One of the main tenets of this company is to do value investing. Really try to buy property and invest in projects at values that are less than what they believe the intrinsic value is, and build portfolios that have the ability to withstand long and prolonged economic downturns. So this is really a team that has decades of experience behind them, that do an amazing level of due diligence, thorough vetting process, and investment committee. Everything has to be really triple checked and vetted. I know that I couldn't do this myself. I've invested in real estate for a while now, but really this level of expertise is hard to come by with the access that they are giving you to the type of projects that they are presenting you. Now, you remember I mentioned in the introduction you can start with just $10. Now, obviously $10 is not going to get you very far when it comes to real estate investing. It's not going to generate a lot of return. But when you look at the account structure that Fundrise is offering people, starter account, $10. Okay, so you can start really with very little money. The basic account, $1,000 and more. The core, the most popular account, in blue in the middle here, $5,000 initial investment, which is very realistic for a lot of people that just want to try this out, try to achieve some level of diversification and allocate some money to real estate. And then, of course, you have the advanced and the premium, $10,000, $100,000. Now, what's really cool is that if you kind of scroll down and look at the features of these accounts, you see that you can invest via the IRA. Now, this is an amazing feature, right? Most people have some money in IRAs that are typically managed by Fidelity, Edward Jones, Raymond James. And when you think about the level of fees that you pay to these companies for them to manage your retirement accounts, is typically somewhere around the 1%, 1.5%, maybe 2%, depending on what they do for you. Now here, if you scroll all the way down below the accounts, you see the fees that Fundrise is charging, and it's basically 1%. 1% to give you this level of access to invest in real estate across the country, across different projects. This level of access for this small amount of fees that you would be paying, this is unheard of. So, like I said in the beginning, this is a company that's really offering you to achieve true diversification. Instead of being focused on one property, 1 or 2 properties that maybe you invest in one specific market, facing one tenant, you take all the headaches away. They do this for you. You have this amazing level of access, due diligence, vetting behind it. Take a look at Fundrise. Second platform I want to talk about is CrowdStreet. Now, CrowdStreet is a company that started in 2014 in Portland, but in 2021 they moved to Austin, one of the 18-hour cities that is really at the top of the league. Now, 18-hour cities, this is something that CrowdStreet focuses on specifically in terms of projects that they want to invest in. This is the big difference. If you haven't heard this before, the 18-hour cities versus the 24-hour cities. The 24-hour cities, the largest cities in America like New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Boston, Washington, D.C., the big cities that never sleep, right? That's why 24 hours. So 18-hour cities are kind of the second tier cities that have higher than average wage growth, higher than average population growth, more opportunities in terms of real estate investing. This is really also the testament of, CrowdStreet moving to Austin in 2021. Austin is the primary 18-hour city. They have seen a huge level of growth in terms of property, in terms of population, companies, lots of tech companies from California moving to Austin. And this is the type of markets that CrowdStreet is trying to invest in across the country. Now, they focus mostly on commercial real estate and residential apartment complexes in these cities. The minimum threshold for investment is $10,000 here, so a bit higher than Fundrise for sure. Most projects are at the $25,000 level. And the biggest difference really with Fundrise, where Fundrise was offering investments for clients with as low as $10. Really, any retail investor, anybody can kind of open an account. With CrowdStreet, you have to be what they call the accredited investor. Now, this is a regulation that is in place by the SEC to basically protect individual investors. I'm going to leave a link below the video to all the criteria that explain what an accredited investor is. But effectively, the main two criteria is you have to make $200,000 in a year or $300,000 as a couple, or you have to have a net worth of $1 million excluding your primary residence. So this is a bit different in terms of the population type that CrowdStreet is targeting. They want to have these protections, these thresholds in place, trying to attract more experienced and higher net worth type of investors. But they are, again, very successful. The platform is amazing. You can open a free account on the platform and take a look at the past investments. But again, you have to be an accredited investor. So take a look at CrowdStreet. All right, and finally, the third and last platform I want to talk about is EQUITYMULTIPLE. Now, EQUITYMULTIPLE is also a very good company. The differentiating factor here is that they offer you investments in the various types of tranches of how real estate investment deals come together. So what I mean by this is you can invest in debt in a real estate project. You can invest in the common equity. You can invest in the preferred equity, the various fund offerings. So you can really tailor your investments based on what returns you're targeting, but also what kind of risk you're willing to accept. So for example, here, the debt, obviously in the capital structure, just let me explain here briefly. When you invest in one of these tranches, right, the debt is going to be the most secure, but also having the low return. So this is typically about 6 to 12%. Then you have preferred equity, higher risk, but also a higher return. And then common equity, where the expected return that they are targeting is somewhere north of 20%, but obviously you have the highest risk as well. So you can really tailor this to your your own criteria, profile, risk tolerances. The minimum investment here is also $5,000. Everything's on the platform. It's really, the whole online reporting is very well done. They focus on protecting your principal and really generating outsized returns on these investments. You can use the IRA as well, just like we talked with the two platforms before. And finally, here you also need to be an accredited investor. So again, CrowdStreet and EQUITYMULTIPLE, they are targeting the higher net worth, more experienced type of investors that fulfill these criteria of having a really higher net worth here than what Fundrise is trying to do. But again, a very solid platform that gives you an amazing level of access to real estate investments from the comfort of your living room in your computer on an amazing platform. You can open a free account on the platform, take a look at all the past investments and projects that they were part of, kind of, again, decide for yourself, do your due diligence. But again, EQUITYMULTIPLE, an amazing team behind this company. All right, so much for three amazing platforms that really give you an amazing level of access to invest in real estate from the comfort of your living room, on your computer, on your phone, with an amazing level of due diligence. This is the kind of stuff that wasn't possible a few years ago. They do this at ridiculously low fees, just really a great due diligence vetting process behind it. I know I couldn't do this myself better, and that really takes away all the headache of being a landlord and gives you the comfort of really being truly diversified. So I think that these are amazing platforms. Take a look at them. Even if you don't invest in this today, this is something that you should know about as an option for the future, or maybe think about allocating a portion of your retirement accounts through the IRA into real estate through these platforms. Anyway, thanks for hanging out today. Give a like to the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I'll see you soon.